Well, we've been in this transition and disruption for 4 to 5, some 6, some 7 weeks for some people, depending on where you live. And states are beginning to announce the possible easing of some of the restrictions that we've been under, and we're all paying attention because we recognize we need to move cautiously, but we need to move. And what that signals is that this season that we're in right now is going to be coming to an end. Now, we knew it would, we just didn't know when it would, and it may be a while, but here's the good news. The tips I want to share with you today, since it may still be a while before this season ends, it gives you plenty of time to implement the tips and end this season well. This has been a challenging season. And as a result, it's important that we end it well, because the next season is a rebuilding, getting back to normal type of season. And we don't want to be hindered in that. We want to be able to go forward in that without the hindrances. So here's 3 tips that I want to give today for individuals as well as leaders of businesses, companies, organizations, and teams of how we end this season well. Here's tip number 1. Deal with your stuff. Okay, let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. Issues have been exposed. We all have them. You have them. I've got them. We all got them. These types of seasons, these types of disruptions and transitions, because they were caused by other people's decisions, they affect us. They create issues. And those issues come to the surface, and we get to choose what we do with them. So if you make the choice to address your issues, you're going to be better off in the next season, because how we end one season directly influences how we start the next one. So whatever issues have surfaced, whatever issues have been exposed or brought to light in your individual life or in your business, organization, company, or team, then the choice to address the issues the best that you can is a big deal. And you need to make that choice, because that's going to help you end this season well by not dragging unnecessary stuff with you into the next season, okay? So the first tip, deal with your stuff. And that means you got to own it so that you can address it. You can't address stuff you don't own. If you don't own it, if you go to the airport, you walk to the baggage claim, you got to claim your bag if you want to be able to go home and unpack it, right? So until you claim it as yours, you don't get to unpack it. So be sure you own your issues. There are some things that have been created because other people's decisions. I understand, I get that, but it's ours now, and we have to address it. So tip number 1, deal with your stuff. Here's tip number 2. Choose to get well. I know, we're in a public health crisis. Duh. We want to get well. Yes, we definitely want to physically get well. We want everyone who struggled with this virus, COVID-19, we want you to get well. Even though we know some haven't, many have not. They've struggled. So yes, getting well is a priority. But I mean you personally, you as a leader and as an individual, get well. You want to deal with and make sure that your head space and your heart space are healthy. You need to deal with whatever anger, frustration, any of these things that very normal that we would be experiencing right now. But if we don't deal with them, if we don't choose to get well, we're much like having someone run by, cut us across our arm, and we can look at that and go, that was somebody else's choice, and now I have this issue. Yes, but the moment I received that issue, it became my responsibility to tend to it. And if I don't, then whatever the consequences of that, I share responsibility for. You see where I'm going. We need to make a choice to get well. We don't want to go on to the other side, to the next season, bitter and cynical and spewing out just all kinds of negativity. We don't want to do that. We want to process it. Let's get well so that when we go into the next season, it's with a healthy mindset and a healthy perspective. So the first tip today is deal with your stuff. And number 2, choose to get well. Here's the third one, and it's really important. finish strong. I know what you're saying. What do you mean finish strong? We're just doing our best to get along here. I get that. But here's what we don't want to do. We don't want to just slack up and coast to the end or limp across the finish line here of this season, especially if we're in business and we've made adjustments and we have stepped up areas of customer service and we're doing takeouts or whatever we're doing, however we've adjusted, or we're working from home and what we don't want to ease up. We want to finish strong because finishing strong helps us start strong in the next season. If you're a business, company, organization, or you're the leader of a team, you need to be sure that you want to finish this season strong. You want to learn everything you can learn. You want to benefit from everything you can benefit from. And you want to do the best job that you're capable of doing. Hey, I get it. It may have been easier to do a better job under different circumstances, but we don't have different circumstances. We have these circumstances. So what we do with them is important. So 3 tips for ending this season well. Why do we want to end it well? Because how we end one season influences how we begin the next. We all want this transition, this disruption to end, but it's important that we see it end well so that we can begin the new season well. Here are the 3 tips one more time. Deal with your stuff, choose to get well, finish strong. Hope you find that helpful. Congratulations, you've made it to Wednesday. It's hump day, and you're halfway through your week already. Hope you have a great rest of the week. Appreciate you listening. I'll talk to you again soon.